and we appreciate it.
Whew. Okay, yeah. We were, as we took our break here, we were both like, okay, the crowd, the match hasn't even started yet, and the crowd is like already going crazy.
Right,
so,
right. It's, yeah, there's a lot of tension in the room right now. There's a lot of,
yeah.
like even I'm not even playing, and I'm like, oh, I gotta calm down. I'm gonna be standing again by the end of this.
I think you are. I believe it.
I'm gonna be standing before we even get started. I'm already considering it. Hi, Nolan. Hi,
Shadow.
Shadow. We see you. We see you. Yeah, and here we go. We're getting on into it, Rissa. Oh my God.
Okay, the crowd is saying it all. We are headed into game 1, Chips versus Moonlight. That team versus their coach here. And, all right, the crowd said it all. Ready, go. We are headed in.
We're still here.
Yeah, right? I'm like, ready, let them go, and then go.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so opening statements being made here already. You can see that Chips is going to be taking the spearhead of this first initial push. Max trying to instigate the fight, but Omega coming in and taking one down and getting the trade on Storm Hero. That's going to be huge. That's 2 different members down now, but jumping in so quickly like they never even left. So Max is back in the fight, getting some assistance from Chara with those killer whales as well, and Arito trying to look up on the left-hand side here. This is looking really good for Chips right off the bat.
It really is. Look at this. They're continuing to take down members of Moonlight, and they're not even pushed forward too far. They're just really utilizing the range of that Rapid Blaster and the bow that we get to see. They're staying back, just poking at the ledges. Finally, Chara goes down. Now Arita going down as well, but the zone is still blue. Finally, Omega, Shadow paint the zone. They get the zone capped, and oh my gosh, Storm Hero doing exactly what you've talked about, doing painting so well with that end zap.
I know, I feel so bad. Omega had such a great stamp splat, and then they got suction bombed in the zone, and it almost immediately flipped it back to Chips' favor. But all right, we're back and caught up. Moonlight now back into the swing of things. They have one member down a piece, but they are so present in this middle section here. You can tell that the members of Chips are really trying to look and see where they can try to poke in and see if they can infiltrate. But when you have Moonlight spread out so well like this, I mean, the call out to be made, and then you have Trizuka coming out too to stop any sort of onslaught coming from Chara. That's going to be huge. That's taking out so much range, but Max is getting taken down in the process as well, and there are no penalty points in the way here, Rissa.
Oh my gosh, the Moonlight actually just Shadow used their Zuka, and then they held off on using their other Zuka. Now they're finally using that other Zuka. Okay, Omega uses the hammer as well, able to take down, I believe that was Storm Hero there on the end zap, and now, okay, no penalty points. Omega starting to push up, doesn't quite push in all the way, but you can see they're just watching. And, there's a DC. Are they going to still be able to hold on to this as the DC?
Oh my
God! They still win that!
Even with the disconnection, they were able to hold on to the zone because they're kind of standing. I think even the folks at home are trying to think about, like, what do we do here?
Yeah.
Do we keep playing it? Do we keep going? Do we stop? I think there's a little bit of confusion, but that was definitely in the hands of Moonlight there. You can see Shadow instead standing up and looking out at the crowd and kind of taking a giggle. Nolan was looking a little bit confused as to what was happening.
Yeah. Oh, the crowd. Let's go, Moonlight. The chants are in. I see the Moonlight flags flying in the wind out there as well. I wonder what happened with that DC too.
Yeah. Are we having a repeat of like where you don't want to slam the table, folks? You don't want to be getting too excited, slamming any body parts into the table because you can disconnect that LAN. It happens all the time. It's actually, it's just one of those things, and it's a mystery that some of us just still can't even begin to solve.
I know.
But now, as the players are now trying to work out and see what the technical difficulties are, I think we're trying to get back in to the lobby here and just kind of taking a second to take a breath. But it's like you said, the first game is always about information gathering. I mean, sure, we're familiar, obviously, because you have the coach of Moonlight sitting on the other end of the table, but still, it's gathering information, it's seeing how people want to play, because I'm sure Chara has probably played Moonlight like when they're at the top of their game, and probably played them maybe when they're not doing so hot. So I think he can do really well at taking the temperature with what Moonlight wants to do.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially too at a LAN, you know, sometimes that LAN setting can really change the way you're playing. You know, maybe you're nervous, maybe you're just like way too excited, and maybe it makes you jittery, you know, something like that. So little things like that can always add up, and this first game really was both teams poking at each other, seeing how they're going to play. And I'm sure, too, these two teams, I bet, were scrimming each other before this tournament even started.
Very likely.
So
very likely.
They got to know. They got to know what we need to do against these teams.
Yeah, and it looks like we're still trying to figure things out, but we're also...
Wait.
Oh.
Zap. Saf or Zap?
Wait, are they talking to me? What? They're talking about... I was like, wait, what are you saying? I can't hear anything.
What about me, guys?
Yeah,
No,
wait. Yeah, what about Rissa? Rissa!
What are they doing now?
Why are you booing? I'm right.
I think they're doing something else out there.
Okay, yeah, there must be something happening out there. But we're not sure. But fine. You know what? If Rissa has no fans, it means I'm dead. Okay. So
She got my back.
yeah, chew on that.
No, I think they're. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. We just hear people yelling, and like we're both kind of locked into these headsets, so it's like we kind of hear. It's fun to try to decipher what people are saying when your hearing is not as great.
Yeah.
Oh,
What'd they say?
I don't know. All I heard is make some noise.
And you're like, oh,
Yeah. Oh, there they are.
hi everyone.
There's the third caster.
There they
crowd.
are.
That is an even bigger sign.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I see that. It's a huge sign.
It is. I've been seeing that blaster. I think what is it? It's like a sign, but it's like cloth.
Like a banner.
Yeah. Saf?
Is it Zap or Saf?
Or staff?
I don't know if
No, it's.
he told me to wave.
We're like, is it me?
I don't know. Chat. Okay. I don't know.
I feel like what's that meme where the guy's like. Like, that's what I feel like right now. Yeah. Okay, staff.
Okay, staff. Okay, I was like, what do you mean? I was like, I want to hear about Rissa too. I was like, don't be doing that. Don't be doing that.
I know we're like staff, Zap.
I know. It's all the same. It's all the same to me. I mean, honestly. Also, I did say this earlier too, but just one note. Shout out to women.
Shout out to women. Like,
So real.
women
so
in STEM.
fair. Oh. Oh, I like being included. Oh, nice. Have you ever? What random question? Oh wait,
Who? I love how there's people in the crowd who are like leading the charge, right?
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a random question for you, Rissa, as we try to work on getting the technical difficulties sorted out. Have you ever done karaoke before?
I am too scared to do karaoke.
Oh,
Oddly enough, like
no.
what the heck? I'm commentating in front of. I've commentated in front of like a few thousand people, and for some reason I'm still too scared to do
A little
karaoke.
stage shy. Oh man, I was gonna say, I was like, I love. I'm a really good tambourine person.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, no, I'm a menace at karaoke. You won't want to go with me the first time. I'm someone that will just sit there with the tambourine and just go to the beat.
Uh-huh.
And everybody's like, can you please stop? And I was like, I won't. Like, it adds to it.
It does.
I'm just adding to the fun with my tambourine.
And I feel like if you're up there singing, that's like, it's almost like hype. Like you're like, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
back me up.
It's like a palm, but an instrument.
Yeah.
You know? So let's get hyped up for this. We're back on Manta Maria. We've gotten our tickets. We're going on vacation. I don't know, Rissa, have you ever been on a cruise ship like this before?
Not like this. Not this stacked with this many top layer players. Okay. Here we go. What buttons do you see here, Saf?
Yeah, we're going, it looks like on Moonlight, we're going back to a little bit of the original formula here. You still have Shadowwind playing on that shot. I'm just waiting for them to pull out their 10 Brella Rissa. I really want to see it.
Oh my gosh.
But it might be wishful thinking here because Shadowwind has been doing work with that shot, and it's so helpful and useful for the members of Moonlight as well. But with opening statements being made here in the middle section, the Rainmaker shield has been popped. Trizuka taking out one. Chara barely making it out alive. Getting taken down down. I believe that was by a suction bomb of some kind, or some kind of bomb of some sort that took him down in the process. But Arito getting cornered and pincered just like that, making their way to the first checkpoint.
Okay, Basil dunks that Rainmaker, and actually, we didn't get to highlight too. They're playing the edit this time.
Oh!
I thought Basil was
Wow!
gonna drop down, but just so smoothly jumps back down to the ledge. If that was me, I would have been a goner. Okay.
I know. It's like, can we just actually pause the game and just go back to that?
I know, right?
Can we just watch that in slow motion? Watch their heels land on that back platform there.
Yeah.
The fight though with Omega being taken in the pit, that's gonna be huge. I mean, Moonlight all the way home.
Wow, that felt so effortless from Moonlight there. So
That was all they
effortless.
needed. They took the fight in that pit area. There was already 2 people down. I mean, the rest is history.
Yeah. I mean, and that's that point in Manta Maria in particular. I was saying earlier, whether it's tower control or Rainmaker, it can just get so snowbally at that specific street plat area, and that's exactly what we saw there.
Yeah, and that's got to be feeling so good for Moonlight too. The fact that they get to fight their coach, and the fact that they're doing really well around against their coach too. And I would hope that Chara is feeling pretty proud of them as well. I mean, obviously, like you said, knows a lot of the tricks up their sleeve already because he's the one that gave them to him. He's the magician that gave away his secrets to the students. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but still, that's got to be so special. I don't know. I feel like that would be really special to me if I was a coach and I got to fight my students on the main stage in front of all of these people and like have people like cheering for you, but also like the respectfulness of it is crazy. Oh wow!
Oh, what a cute sign that is! I love
Beautiful.
that. It almost looks like that was hand painted.
Yeah, that looks hand painted. That's wonderful.
Aw.
Look at that. And I know that the folks at home too and the folks in the crowd right now are so excited to be watching this match here. And I mean, obviously at points they were way louder than you or I. You and I just kind of have to take a step back for a minute to let the crowd speak.
I know, and look at that too. As we started our commentary set, the crowd is just continuing to take up this room.
Yeah, I'm seeing less and less of the wall.
Yes, we're pretty much not going to have somewhere to sit after this, but that's okay.
That's okay. I think being in the ambiance is just fine. I hope it's a repeat of LTC where we have smashers coming over to our side because they're like, hey, wait, what's going on over here? Why is it so loud? And it's just like, what do you mean? Why is it so loud? It's like Moonlight just made it. They reverse swept the bracket and then they're forcing a bracket reset. It's like, what do you mean? Why are we screaming?
Yeah.
That's insane. And especially against Starburst too back in LTC. I mean, I don't know. Are we going to see kind of a repeat of that going on forward and seeing them at the end of that losers bracket? But I know that that's where they want to be. But you know what? Moonlight and the Chips are saying it's battle time because Chips has a huge mountain to climb while Moonlight is looking to punch their last ticket into the way of moving forward in the competition.
Yeah, so this is it. This is match point right now. If Moonlight wins this game, then they will be continuing on through the loser side of the bracket.
Dreadbringer double bucket, Rissa.
Oh my goodness. Wait a second. You're right. Chara switching over to that Dreadbringer here. Wait, hold on. Something must be off here, but the team is just standing in their spawn. Moonlight's like, wait, what's happening? What's happening? Why isn't anyone here?
Yeah, what's going on? Okay. Maybe that pick was incorrect. Perhaps it looks like there's a lot of confusion across the board. Even Shadowwind standing up and saying, hey, man, what's going on? All right, but that's all right. JPEG's on the case.
Yep, JPEG's on
Let's go, JPEG.
Yeah, that's the chant we need. Let's go, JPEG. Love that guy.
What a guy.
What a guy. What a guy.
Looking like maybe we have some connectivity issues, maybe a little bit of maybe some screen issues as well. For the folks sitting back at home, and if you haven't quite seen what the main stage looks like yet, if you're just kind of tuning in today, there are 8 screens in front of our 8 players, and so you are able to not only watch what the stream wants to show you, but you may also watch each player's point of view if there is someone more specific that you would like to pay attention to. And wow, it is so incredibly cool because if you see a really good play on the stream and you're like, wait a minute, but then where's this person? Then you can just immediately look for them on one of their screens and be like, oh, okay, so they're going to try to follow up. And it's really interesting to get to look at all the different perspectives.
Yeah, that was something I noticed too coming in today. I mean, I think it was happening throughout the weekend, but today for some reason I actually was like, wait a second, that's so cool. You can actually just kind of watch, if there's someone you want to watch in particular, or like you said, a cool play happens, you can just literally just watch them right there. I don't think we've had that at a LAN before.
Yeah, and look at all the folks that are present here. They're saying
Look
hello
at them.
to you guys, chat. They're saying hello to you folks at home that can't make it with us and can't be here. And now finally, we heard the ready bells. We're getting ready to lock back in. Let's take it one more time from the top here. We have Moonlight versus Chips. This is going to be all the marbles for Moonlight if they can win this one.
Yeah, so if Moonlight wins this like we were talking about, wait.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Let the crowd go. All right. Yeah, Moonlight wins this. They will be going on through the losers bracket, but if Chips is able to win this, we will continue on to a Game 4. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, so guaranteed a Game 3, potentially guaranteed a Game 4. It'll all depend upon what Chips wants to do here. And like we said before, there aren't any weapon changes. We are running double bucket on Chips, and we have Chara using the Dreadbringer actually to help out Max in the bucket fight. And already you can see both of them immediately slashing as much ink as they can to push it up there. And I have a feeling that we're going to consistently see Max and Chara just kind of leapfrogging and jumping to each other.
I think you're right. I can see a lot of chaos ensuing with those two players in particular. Speaking of chaos, Chara uses that reef slider to try and take down maybe one of the members of Moonlight in mid, maybe create some space. Does create a little bit of space, but unfortunately does go down. Max going down as well, and we see Moonlight pushing up so aggressively. They have 10 clams at the ready. They need to figure out how to organize these clams in order to score in a power clam.
I know, and the cooler placement is superb, and especially now when you have Nolan forced up into the Kraken mode. You could see Shadowwind was trying to follow up and pincer Max, but with the help of Basil as well, that's going to be finding a lot of success for Moonlight. No clams though, like you said, Rissa. There was a push there that was getting just bubbling to the surface, but we just couldn't find liftoff.
Yeah, and they're still, look at this, they're still putting on pressure onto Chips. They're not letting them out of their spawn right now. They just need to organize. Okay, I'm going back for clams. I'm going to make a ball. They have 16 clams. What are they trying to, like, are they just trying to max out as many clams as they possibly can to get a big push going in? It looks like maybe they are. Finally, Nolan scores in a power clam, uses that Kraken as well. Another power clam goes in, and with 2 members down on the side of Chips, there's potential for even more of a push here.
Yeah, look at Shadowwind trying to hold it open and narrowly escaping as the collapsing of 3 members of Chips trying to come in and get them out of there. They were able to get just a few more points thrown into that, but now finally with Chips getting out of their spawning area, the team fight now being taken back to mid. However, when you have someone like Omega and getting help from the teammates to come in and the Trizuka, thank you, trying to come back in and maybe offer some support. You have 2 members down on Chips, and you're allowing Omega to come in and go in for the flank. We're not even looking at objective anymore.
Yeah, they're having to turn and look at Omega flanking. And they got to know, too, Omega has that hammer at the ready, too. Omega's using that very cautiously, very patiently, maybe waiting for, maybe waiting for the Kraken to be ready, maybe waiting for Azuka to be ready. That way they can chain some specials before. Oh, it looks like Omega was actually waiting to use that hammer for Chips to use their specials first. So we didn't see what happened from their point of view, but with Chara starting to try and push up, Chara tries to flank around. The basket does open up again for Moonlight. They're just holding so much pressure with members constantly in Chip's space.
Yeah, look at that. Chara narrowly was about to try to escape Nolan, and fortunately Storm Hero was able to make it out unscathed, but Chara ended up going down to the Kraken. But still, the fight is still being had on that top platform area there. Nolan trying to entice Chara out of the high ground, which is definitely something you want to do if you're going to be fighting a bucket player. You do not want to be letting them get the high ground there. I mean, how did Max even just do that?
I know, right? Max said, wait a second, I can just turn around and say, oh, hey, goodbye.
These physics don't make no sense to me, Rissa. I swear. Sometimes things happen and I just don't even understand how they can do it.
I know. These players so good at the weapons that they play at this high of a level. Whew, okay, I'm taking a deep breath here.
Take a deep breath.
Looking at these teams, Moonlight, once again, starting to be the team that has that mid control and pushing up. They're just consistently doing this. I mean, I like the way Basil is kind of playing over Shadow, making sure that Basil pokes at anything that tries to approach Shadow. Excuse me? Gets a pick
Basil
on the reef slider, and also another pick at that. Kraken comes out out from Nolan, and I think a lot of clams are at the ready for Moonlight. There's a big push going to happen here.
Yeah, look at that. Basil is also in the same position that Shadowwind was previously to try to get just a few more clams into that basket. We are down now to the 40 mark, and I believe this is Moonlight's third pop on this basket, and just slowly chipping away at the unit points for it. Down to the 37 mark. We're below halfway with a little bit of a penalty left to go. But Rissa, not a whole lot of time for Chips to try to turn this around.
There really isn't. They have 30 seconds. Okay, they're going to try and use everything they had. Chara uses that Reef Slider. We see the Wave Breaker. We saw the Cooler come out as well. They're able to take down 2 members of Moonlight, so this is the opening that they've been looking for this entire game. Max tries to push up into Nolan, does get called out, and Nolan turns around, takes down a Rito at that.
I know, and look at that. Storm Hero was looking to try to make safe passage as well, but immediately the ink was covered by Basil and by Shadow in there. They are trying to block the entrance as best as they can, but however, Arito having that power clam means we are going to be going into overtime. And I mean, Moonlight has a lot of chips in their pocket. The economy is looking pretty okay, but really, it's going to come down to the spawns and if they can actually get enough to try to get it going.
Oh,
but then 2 members go down, but that's 3 members of Moonlight going down with Omega being gone. That's going to provide the jump. This could be Chips turning it around.
Oh my gosh, it's just Chara. Left to right, alive. Chara uses that Reef Slider, tries to get some picks, tries to maybe irrigate some space, stall out some time. Not quite able to do it. Moonlight taking this set 3-0 over Chips.
Wow, Rissa, that was scary. I thought that this set was going to keep going there because as soon as we got back to those final minutes or seconds, units, whatever you want to call it, time units of overtime, 3 members of Moonlight were down. It was just Omega trying to hold up the fight, and they eventually got taken down. It provided jumps for the balls to get in to the basket, but they just didn't quite have enough. But also Moonlight being able to respond so quickly was so crucial there for them to prevent that push from preventing them from taking any more damage.